We won't let them take control. Guard the streets and guard your soul. Windy City, Watch, standing tall, we won't be caught. No cold gonna claim our town. In the breeze, we bring them down.
Howdy folks, Windy City Watch. Sorry I'm a little bit late here today. Wanted to grab some lunch before we started. Some Nando's chicken. And we're going to head over to the org. Got some stairs going down. How's everybody been? Well, I guess I reminded everybody last week that it was going to be a busy week for me. I was at a convention most of the week. Had a lot of talking. So I wasn't able to be online, or I wasn't able to protest. But here we are, ready to demonstrate today. It's late lunch right now, so there should be a number of people heading back to the org at this point in time. Get back to the comments real quick. Howdy James, hey Elron Liar, Fuzzy, thanks for holding down the fort while I was coming up. Howdy Mama, hope you're having fun doing your crafting. Lady E over on the African continent. I do have a little bit of information. I got back exactly as I expected. The police department said that, yeah, we're not giving you the body cam for all kinds of reasons. I didn't give enough information and all kinds of stuff. So I'm working with Joe Cool and audit them to try to get that a little bit more precise so that they can't keep the information from us. So, what else? I also got the information back from COPA. You know, I filed a complaint with COPA. So COPA is the civilian organization for police oversight, and they usually take complaints. They'll then investigate them. 99% of the time is, well, they'll either say it's nothing, which, by the way, in this case, they said it was nothing. There's nothing to see here, no complaint. We're going to turn over to internal investigations. Or they will do the investigation, but then they'll turn over their recommendations and their findings to internal affairs, and internal affairs will say, we've investigated our own and they've done nothing wrong. Howdy, never in. It seems like there's some more new turmoil in SBTV and anti-Scientology world, and interesting. I'll say this, that right, transparency is always good. I'm not pro or anti anybody in this particular fight. I am continuing to demonstrate. I will be out here. I will say that I'm very happy with how positive Serge and Nora are in regards to protesting, right? And by the way, I do think that protesting makes a difference, right? If I didn't think that this was effective, I probably would have stopped by now. We're looking down the alley. So that looks like it's just somebody on a moving day. That's somebody's residential couch. Sorry. Not much else going on down there. We'll head over to the front. The idea that, right, we were here, a week ago, and they were trying to do their human rights seminar or talk or chat or passing out flyers. They got 0 people to come in for that. Got a couple Scientologists across the street there. One of them's going to be in their civilian work. The other one's in the uniform. We'll get to see them when they come by. I think there was a running event. It might have been a half marathon here in Chicago today, over on the lakefront. Yeah, I understand there's Mangotology also out there, and I'll say this: I want to help whoever I can. I'm suspicious of all the commentary that's going on in the background there, so I'll say this: if we can find any way to help people who are escaping Scientology, 100%, I'm all in. Um, I just don't get what the story is going on there. I find it hard to believe that there aren't organizations that will help uh, the gentleman in his current state. So, 100% for both organizations, both Aftermath and SPTV Foundation, who are spending monies, spending resources to help people escape. Ah, so Scientology is already closed up today. We're finding that they must not be happy with the public, right? The cult doors are closed today. Howdy Bridge. The Scientology windows are closed. Um, again, we saw somebody down at the corner. Just a guess. They went to the back door, right? So they saw me walking by here. I'm sure they went out the back, or they went into the back. Here's one of our newer guys. He's heading out to lunch, right? He probably had to hold down the fort while we were here. We just had a civilian come in. Anything positive to share about the church? Howdy Bridge. As soon as these next few people come in, I'll chat with you. Anything positive to share about your church? Nothing positive about the cult of Scientology? Notice they were all arm in arm. Yeah. Okay, Lily, I'm. Oh wait, I can click these now. I'm on StreamYard today. Yeah, I agree with that. Right now, I will say this: that if you are loud and vocal and drawing attention, um, I want people to realize that not all protesters are trying to get the attention of the Scientologist. Right? We want the Scientologists to quit and leave Scientology. Right? We know that they're in a bad shot. Anything positive to share about the church? In what way? So his response was, "It's awesome." Um, we definitely want people to quit and leave Scientology, and we want to give them a safe landing in regards to that. But when we're being very loud, a lot of times when people are being loud, and I'm not putting words in other protesters' mouths, it's the idea that we're trying to draw attention of the other people in the community, saying, "Wait, what did you just say? Did you just say cult? Oh my gosh!" Because so many people don't know that's what this is.
Right. Yep.
Oh no, Lily, I took no offense, right? I just want to say that um, I I do think that, hey, there should be all kinds of protests, right? There should be loud people, there should be quiet people, sensitive, sincere, right? Um, that it will take all kinds of people to connect with, whether they're Scientologists or politicians or neighbors. Um, that it's it you never know how well. Like, I feel good about the way that I protest. I assure you, I'm not connecting with 100% of the people, right? Um, we know there are people who are civilians who come up to us and saying, "Hey, you're just drawing attention to it." It's like, yeah, I'm okay with the idea that I'm drawing attention to Scientology, but I'm not drawing attention to it in a positive light, right? Um, I don't still don't agree with human trafficking. I still don't agree with child abuse. I still don't agree with elder abuse. I don't agree with financial fraud. Hey, Nance Drew, good to see you in here. I want to figure out a way if we can meet over by, like, let's say where the farmers market is on Saturdays. So that way we're far enough away from the organization, but we can still, you know, do our demonstrations and still make it. Some of us can still make it over here to the org itself. Yeah, I wonder what'll. So the guy that came out, um, the guy that came out, it'll be interesting to see if I can connect with him later on. He might head back. He might not head back. Anything positive to share? Nothing positive about the cult of Scientology? Howdy, Queen Suki. We've got the maintenance guy coming out. We've got another Scientologist coming up. It's now what, 4 minutes to 1 o'clock. Anything positive to share about your church? Are you guys here to support human trafficking or child abuse? Which is the better thing for you today? No, they would have been open since 9:30 this morning. Yeah, I think it's 9:30, right? So 9:30 is their opening. Today they were supposed to be open until 6. They won't be open until 6. Are you here for the human trafficking or for the child abuse? Uh, I haven't been here on a Sunday in a while. It's interesting to see what's going on here. Like, I'm wondering, are they here for rundown? Is there a course going on here today? Anything positive to share about the church? Nothing positive about Scientology? Oh, sorry, I think I missed that. On this one, I don't know if you saw him, but he turned to respond and he wanted to respond, then realizing that either answer probably isn't so good, right? In that case. Yeah, James, absolutely. Like, I could tell that he kind of wanted to respond and then realized that, wait, of the two choices I gave him, maybe neither of those is very good. Howdy, Helly. Great to see you. Folks, last week we had a great win for Heligear. When we were at LitFest, 3 weeks ago at this point, she made contact with one of the people who was working in the neighborhood and explained to them some of the crimes and abuses that Scientology perpetrates. And this person, when they came by, said, "Oh, I didn't know anything about Scientology until a couple of weeks ago. Somebody at the event told me." And then she reminded us that, wow, I can't believe that they're only making $47 a week. And that the disconnection policy. So she remembered that 2 weeks later. And again, that's one of those things where these people are going to say these things at the dinner table. These people are going to walk past here. So were you here for the human trafficking or for the child abuse today? Which one of those is more significant? or is it just Scientology's disconnection policy? Is that what you're here for? Is Helly's why we've got the shades down? That's awesome. Great job, Helly. I'm kind of curious to see what these two. So one guy came out with a notebook. Do you think they're doing survival rundown? I also did talk to the landlord of the Dearborn Station, letting them know that Scientology comes in and gives flyers out there. They said they would put a stop to that. I don't know how effective that'll be, or if they were just trying to placate me as somebody on the phone. How are you today? Lily, I'm gonna guess that survival. When I said survival rundown, so survival rundown is one of the early courses. It's a pre-clear course. You're gonna pay a fee. It's not a huge fee at that level. Most of the pre-clear courses aren't stupidly expensive. Um, but what they'll do is they'll walk around. It's an idea of being here, here-ness or nowness. And they might say, "Do you see that door over there? Great, let's go touch that door." Or they'll try to reiterate one another, or ask questions of one another to say, "Do you see what's happening in the real world right now in front of us?" In that process, and they've got to do that for hundreds of hours in order to pass this class. So, let's see the SP over there. Don't go touch the SP because you get in trouble on touching the SP. But do you see the SP over there? Do you see the door over there? Do you see the car over here? Do you see whatever it might be? Now, they're going to continually try not to be near me. Are you still mocking your reactive mind? Wasn't that Xenu story crazy, right? The galactic overlord bringing to all of the overpopulated bad citizens of the faraway galaxy, freezing them, bringing to Earth in a DC-8 or DC-10, throwing in the volcanoes. Yeah, because he's got the clipboard, so I do think it's survival rundown. I think that Nora had it's a possibility that it could be a second course like that, but they're both just trying to be now, right? And what I was just now trying to do is give them Wall of Fire. Right, Wall of Fire is OT3's story. And OT3 is when they learn about how we got to planet Earth. Right? That Scientology believes that the spiritual being is called a Thetan, right? And that when the volcanoes were blown up with these hydrogen bombs, they were just blown into little bits, and these little Thetans keep on attracting themselves to us. You can see they're peeking out. I know that I've got the high profile on today. You can see that they peek out because they want to be able to get the public out. I'm going to stand in front of the org They want to get those public people out without having to interact with me as a protester. Yeah, Christy, it's very likely, right, that most, well, all of Scientology is stolen from something else somewhere, right? Whether it be Eastern philosophy or other religions. He's heading out for a smoking break. Is Helly out on lunch break or how, how you doing? Is this? We've got more Scientology coming up the street. Um, might have a civilian with them. Not sure. Cool. Thank you, Nance. Ah, this might just be somebody in dress. Anything positive to share about the church? Nothing positive about the cult of Scientology? Why won't you tell us about your cult? So the folks coming up the street were just citizens, neighbors. Now this one does seem to have the scarf on. Was it active this morning? So I don't know if anybody was paying attention to Helly. Just curious if the church was active this morning or not. Anything positive to share about your church? Have they let you know what my crimes are, or am I just a criminal? Just that vague, everything's good or everything's bad? How you doing? Uh, the sorry,
No, bro.
the college kids, many of them know what I am out here, and I'm getting thumbs up and positive nods. Again, I just don't like to put them on camera. This isn't their demonstration. It's mine and Scientology's. One of the things that I really loved about the Lich Fest is the thing that they got most irate about is while they were trying to deceive the public with their Dianetics book, every time I called them out as Scientologists, they'd go run to the police saying, "Hey, he called us Scientologists." It's like, they are Scientologists. Why are you ashamed of it, right? If your cult is so great, why are you ashamed? Oh, it's up in the air. You're fine.
I know, but
Oh.
I've never seen this.
Okay.
And I hear you talking, so I'm like,
Yeah. Do you know what they are?
Scientology?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yep. So it's a human trafficking, child abusing cult. So it's there. What'll happen is you'll find that there's a lot of people in here who have a foreign accent. They come over on religious visas, and somehow their paperwork gets lost. Oh, very much so. I have a card which will show you some of the real victims.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
How come nobody does anything?
Because it's a religion. They get to claim religion.
Yeah, but every religion does that, huh?
Yeah.
Don't say cover stuff.
So this
Okay,
person.
I am going to check it out. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So if you scan that, it'll bring you to a website with it.
100%.
Yeah. And again, I want to let you know, I have no care or concern about their beliefs. They have some crazy beliefs, but
We
some
don't
people
care
would say the
about
same thing about
anybody
any other's
about
beliefs, right?
That's not the issue.
It's the crimes and
Humanization.
abuses that I don't like, right?
100. I have never seen this thing.
So
Wow.
some of those people, right, have been child abused. They have something. I use the word confessional because we relate to confessional, where you talk to a person of the church.
When you're in the Catholic.
Well, if you were a Catholic church, that's what it would be. But they have a similar item here.
Right.
Now, it's not necessarily a father penitent
Right.
because they will record everything you do, and if you did something wrong, if you ever try to leave, they'll blackmail you with that information. So, and I just don't like that they're over here, and they've got a bunch of front groups. I don't know if I've got it on that page or not, But if you ever see Narcanon or Criminon or Youth for Human Rights, the Way to Happiness pamphlet, that's all them trying to tell the community they're good, and then they kind of get you in on that first, right, on that.
So who are you with?
I'm just by
Just
myself.
by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know some of these people that have been victims
Right.
of the
Okay.
church.
No, listen. You're talking to the right person. I am so anti-religion. It's not even funny.
No.
And like I say, I mean, I used to be called a Christian. I literally will not be called a Christian. I don't like the label
Right.
because it doesn't. It has a lot of baggage
Yeah.
with it. So
Correct.
I don't want to be called a Christian. But I am totally about love, 100% about people, and that's what I do.
I love
And
that.
I don't think we realize how brainwashed we've all been in every. I used to say, oh no, Christians can never be great. No, we are.
Yes.
In a very deep way. To the degree that somebody tells you you have to have your quiet time at 5.
Yeah.
And you can't, you feel guilty if you don't do it at 5. I mean, seriously?
That doesn't seem right.
It's insane. So like I just told my daughter that I said, it was never about a relationship with a book. You know, it's with a God who lives in there.
Right. If you
And
have a
then
personal connection, you have a personal connection,
Right.
and that's great for you.
Yes.
Right. Always. Are you allowed to talk about the church? If you're not allowed to talk about it, it's probably a cult. So there's zombies. He's a member. So that you see the uniform.
Yeah.
That's one of the ways that you can tell that they're. And I love that question because, right, the idea that's hopefully one day they're going to go to bed at night and say, "Why won't the church let me talk about the church?"
Exactly. Oh no, it's the same.
They're victims. I feel all of these people are victims.
100%. But it's like that in the evangelical church.
Yep.
In
Absolutely.
every single religion. And I'm just like, evangelicals don't see that though, but I'm telling you, believe me, there's an awakening that's happening. There's a shaking. I mean, it's like, I can feel the undercurrents. I can feel the whole love vibration. All I talk to people about is love. I don't bring up God, I don't bring up Jesus. I just say love. And you know what? God is love. So guess what? I'm totally nice
Awesome.
talking to you. What's your name?
My name is Paul.
Paul. I'm Claire.
Very nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Claire. All right. So the woman in white walked out. The guy in green got out of his car, and they're chatting. So she was inside. Might have been public. I have no idea why she was here. Sorry. I'm trying to get my business cards out. She did. The woman that we just talked to had a business card, or took a business card, so that was excellent. And I need to restock that. I'm actually running out of business cards at home as well. Right, I try to give these out as often as possible. I got to buy me some more. So if that's one of the ways that you feel you want to help with the channel, that'd be awesome. All right, let me kind of go backwards a little bit. I'm not sure if you could hear her very well. So she can't come up. She was mostly worried that, she thought she was going to be interrupting me while I was filming. She then said, "Hey, what is this?" And I said, "Church of Scientology," right? And she said, "Oh yeah, it's the Church of Scientology." Anything positive to share about your church? Will the church let you talk about the church? That's probably a cult. One of the things that I thought was a great message from her, right? That she just wants to share love, right? And that's what's not good about that message, right? Anything positive to share about the church today? Nobody's going to join if you don't tell them all the good things about the church. We have peoples arriving. Hello. How are you today?
Good. The weather's pretty nice.
Yes.
Hi, Wendy.
What's our camera policy today?
Same thing. Like on, but not totally.
No problem. Just had a great conversation. A woman came up, asked me why I was here. Right, probably talked for 15 minutes. So loved it. There's a lot of people in here today.
We just followed the guy. Well, not followed, but he
Right.
walked out of a store as we were coming down, and then we saw a gentleman, different guy, on our way walking into the park.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I hear because Helly came earlier than us. What? She said that there's been a lot of them.
Yeah, there's been, I would say that we've seen 10 people who are in civilian clothing. I think somebody's doing survival rundown. So 2 people came out, one of them with a clipboard, which was what I saw in St. Louis, not St.
Right.
Louis, St. Paul.
Right.
Right.
Where they walk around and, yeah.
Absolutely. How you doing?
Who was that last gentleman that walked in here with the muscles? He's new, no?
No, he's not. He's usually nights.
Oh,
And well, he's
that's
nights and weekends. I've seen him a lot.
really? Okay.
On the day that I did critical mass, which was just by chance, we drove down. I don't know if you know what critical mass is, but it's
Yeah, that was
the
the
bicycle.
yeah.
We just by chance drove down the street and said, "Well, I have to get off my bike."
I watched it. I saw you.
So, Granny
Then you
G,
got
thank you
yelled
for being
at.
a member.
Spending too much
Yeah.
time.
It's hard to do 2 things really well. I will say that. So,
But it's hard to pass it as you
yes,
go by.
absolutely correct. I was saying it from just as we came around the railroad tracks. I was letting everybody know that, hey, we're about to go past the cult of Scientology. Elron, we did hear somebody today, a civilian came out, and when I had asked him anything positive to share about the church, and he said everything is great, right? Which is that typical, right? It's all good, right? It's all good, and it's not all good. Are you guys streaming today or just?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I was here a little earlier.
I
You might
was
have
wondering.
noticed that.
I was gonna say, why were the
Yeah.
grapes out? Or
Yeah,
why the,
we're streaming right now. So, no, I'll be streaming a little bit later, but I got a lot of shorts up there for you guys.
Nice. I did see that.
And
Yeah, I've
one
seen that a lot.
video. I had an interaction.
Nice. Oh, I love it.
Yep.
Love it.
Jack Russell, right?
And I think that we might see somebody else too.
My area?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. No. He's on this side of the room. Howdy, Pinchot. All right. Let me go see. Do you know what this is? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I know about that. I mean, yeah. It's stopped me a couple times. I'm like,
Yes, they tried.
They were
Yeah.
using
oh, we know all
The drones. Yes, I did see that.
I mean,
Somebody
there
sent
was
that to me.
protests when
Now it was them sending it, and quite honestly, they were probably
They tried to get
looking at their building. I don't think they were looking at these buildings. And people will get. If you see a drone flying there,
yeah.
if you see the red light, you're seeing the back of the drone. If you see the green light, you're seeing the front of the drone.
But it was interesting
I
that
love
they're
that.
saying, hey, wait a minute.
I do like it. And I comment on it.
So
I
good,
try to
he's like,
comment every third.
oh, that's awesome. My favorite
Hey,
line
never
is that
learn
is
more
like, you know,
about what this place does.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. So,
My son-in-law sent it to me at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Look what they're doing.
that is awesome. I love it. Well, they were nasty at me. That was one of the things they called me out on. He took drone pictures. Yes, it's totally legal. So shut your up. Let me get up.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
All right. I'm gonna. You guys gonna be here for a while? I'm gonna go to wander for a bit. Hopefully, got somebody coming over.
Sully! Oh, bye, Sully! Oh my gosh.
Granny, I really appreciate that, folks. If you're a member of the channel, I don't do anything that's members only. I don't do. I don't delay video. I don't have members only content. That's not really the desire. There are plenty of people who, and I appreciate this so much, will support me through the Linktree applications, and their desire is to be anonymous and be supportive, and I appreciate that. And there's other people that really like to show or have visible evidence of their support, and that's really all that we're trying to do with the memberships, right? You get some emojis, that's fun, but it's just a way for somebody to raise their hand and say, yeah, I do agree with what's going on this channel, and I love that. So thank you so much. Pinchy, great to see you in here. Like I said, there's been an awful lot of, whether or not we want to call them public, some of them might have been green recruits. I'm just not sure where our 2 friends went. Now, Oh, excellent. I think that's a Scientologist far away from us. They must have come out the back door. At least I can see the gold. I can see a gold back, but it might just be somebody wearing, a gold outfit. There were one, two, three. There were four people that we just saw. Four additional protesters that we just saw over at the Scientology org. Yeah, Bridge. It is overcast. It's actually kind of nice. It's low 70s. I'm sure that we're still getting remnants of the storm. I hope all you folks in the south and southeast are doing well and are safe from the storms. I'm just kind of recounting the conversation I just had with that woman out in front of the church, right? And the idea that so many people don't know about the negative effects and the negative policies, the negative practices, the crimes, the abuses of the church. So educating her, and again, she seems like somebody who's going to be vocal about it. None of it sat well with her. She was not happy about any of the things I was saying. You could tell that on her face, it was oh no, oh, please don't say that. Um, and again, one of the reasons that I love having the card is that it's got proper noun names on it. It's got articles of um, people who uh, were in Scientology, but no longer there, who were victimized by it, or people who are no longer alive because of that. Bridge, that's great that you're safe. That's terrible about your coworkers. Hopefully they're safe, and one of the good things about insurance is that they hopefully will be made whole. Granny, that's awesome. Yeah, in some of the areas where you don't have the repairman or enough repairmen, or you just happen to be on a more remote line, so you're on a line where it's affecting 5,000 people, and there are other places where if I fix um, the transformer, I might be helping 100,000 people. The prioritization is tough that way. I was surprised. Like I know Asheville as a high level, right? Asheville, sorry, North Carolina, is kind of there in the foothills of the Smokies. And when I was hearing people saying that there was so much water there, that surprised me quite a bit, just because of where it was at. But again, those valleys and the mountains collect and divert the water like you wouldn't believe. I'm trying to see if I can find the two guys that walked away. Because they walked back this direction, there's a limited number of places or ways they could have gone. So that'll be interesting. Howdy, MD Media. Thanks for being here. Hope you guys all saw El Ron with Declared Dave last week. I'm going to go over, if I go in the tunnel, all the motorcyclists and cars always like to rev their exhaust, and so they get the cool echo. Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I have family that's down in the Tampa Clearwater area, and they're all safe, and I'm very happy about that. We're up here in the train station. All the trains are showing red, but they're all showing on time. This morning, I put up a short on the young lady that we saw last week, who her statement was, right, um, it's so scary having this building right next door to us. And the idea is she's much more afraid of Scientology being next door than anything else that goes on in the city. And I will tell you that the inference of anything else going on in the city is that, right, we are a, there are an awful lot of bang bang issues. Usually you're seeing somewhere near 20 every weekend in that news stories of that nature. Oh, you know, I am going to go back in here for just a second. I need to ask the security here a question. I am going to, I'm going to knock down the camera, and I'm going to knock down the sound for a bit. Cool, lady. I need to become a better editor. Um, and I wish I would just say, you know what, just clip 60 seconds of video here and talk to them. All right, folks, I'm going to be right back. All right, no luck. There's somebody who works here in, it's their lost and found area, but it's really the informational team. And I've noticed on occasion that we're seeing some of the Scientologies in uniforms congregate up here. Remember, this is just a train, it's a train platform, and we're only, 2 blocks from the organization. And I just want to let them know that, hey, there are people that come in here um, that are trying to proselytize. Hey, Aunt Fuzz, I don't know if there. Now, I do believe that there is a person in need. I am so concerned about all of the different stories that we're hearing about this. So, if anybody has information on this, um, the best I can tell right now, or the things that I have the most confidence in, is that this person was able to communicate with Aftermath a while ago. I don't know. I have no firsthand knowledge of anything. I will just say that there was an awful lot of stories and recording going on, and there was some inconsistency, which makes it very challenging for me to talk with any authority there in regards to what's going on. I have good news, Lady E. You're allowed to talk poorly of me even when I am here. I tend to have fairly thick skin. I will say I don't like people who are intolerant of other people in the chat. But if you have an issue with me, you know, absolutely, right? Congratulations.
Thanks. Good job, Iron Man.
Thank you.
But if you have shit,
So I don't know if you saw that big hexagonal medal. Um, it looks like a Tom Cruise award, right? Whatever the Freedom Medal that he has. So they had a half marathon here today in Chicago, along the lakefront, and the medal is massive. So kind of you to say, Sally. I appreciate that. And by the way, the things that I don't know, I have no problem making them up. I'm going to head over to Dearborn Street. Now, when we came back from, Rich, that's great information. I like that. Um, when the other demonstrators were coming back to the org, just before I kind of gave them their space, they mentioned they were over on Dearborn. Remember, Dearborn is where that Lit Fest was, and it's where the farmers market is on Saturdays. And they said they saw several people over there, several Scientologists over there, walking into or out of the little park where that's at. But folks, I would just say this, that I'm making no assertions about. I know nothing about tax law, nothing that's at all useful about tax law. But if you think that you can do help by giving to one of the organizations that helps Scientologists, you know, my hope is that the tax write-off isn't the reason you're doing it. I understand getting a tax write-off is beneficial and it's needful for many people. Right? When we're giving $20 and $50, right? You know, those aren't numbers that are making huge impacts on tax savings. You start to add zeros to it, and yeah, then I understand the desire to have that. I do think that it does take a while to get organizations established, 501(c)(3)s, and I know there's plenty of people that want to make the story go one way or want to make the story go the other way. For the most part, it's a long and arduous path to get the organization set up. Howdy, Fat Grammy, good to see you. I would hope that we're giving people the benefit of the doubt in regards to what's going on here. And again, there is no evidence that either organization doesn't help people that are in need, right? The money does go in, the money does come back out. Um, it's not HIPAA, but the idea that people don't want their stories to be told, absolutely fair, right? So we have no right to know that Larry Smith was helped by Aftermath or by SPTV Foundation, right? We do have a right to know that money went out for a charitable reason, right? Um, so hopefully you're giving in the spirit and you're offering the grace in the same spirit of the people that put those organizations together, right? Yeah, Christy, I think that's fair, right? The idea that give an accounting of the outbound money and the inbound money also should be known. But I think those show up on quarterly reports anyhow. I'm not a tax expert. I'm not a charitable organization expert. Um,
He's so cute.
I do not. You have to convince the daylights out of me to tell me that we're paying for either organizations, vacations, and new cars and new houses, right? You know, that's I think that it's rather nefarious to think that way about these elements. And I would much rather concentrate on the idea that, you know, are we helping people? And I do think the answer is yes. Right? And it's no, I can't imagine that to be any fun. Uh, like the red tape involved in that process is never anything that I would be like, wow, that sounds like fun. I get to spend hours of my day logging paperwork and all of that information. But um, it has to be done, and I'm glad that people are taking up the mantle and doing that kind of work. The other one I want to say is that, and I think I said it at the top of the show. If I didn't, in my memory, I did, so we're fine. Um, I, I'm always appreciative when a Lara, a Serge, um, a Nora is calling out the people who are out here on the streets protesting, right? The never-ins. That there's very little in it for a never-in, right? That, as I've told you many times, I'm incredibly upside down on this channel. Except for Aaron, I can't imagine anybody is right side up in regards to what's going on with these channels in YouTube. Right? It's such a nominal amount of money. The reason that I'm out here is exposure, right? I want to expose the bad activities of this organization. I want to lend my voice to the people who have been victimized by this organization. Um, I was never directly impacted by this. That doesn't mean that I'm okay with it, right? So, you know, I love it when I'm out in front of the org and people will say, well, I don't know anybody who's been human trafficked. And I go, well, okay, if you don't know anybody who's been human trafficked, then that's okay. The ones that are being human trafficked, that's their problem, not your problem, right? The children who are put in the abuseful situation of auditing, you know, it's not your child, so that makes it okay, right? That's somebody else's kid. So it's okay that somebody else's kid's being abused, but you know, mine aren't being abused. And those things bother me. You don't get to write that off and say, well, Scientology does good for me, so therefore it must be okay. It's not that hard. And I understand that a Scientologist can't be out looking for news, right? Because they're being told that everybody in the world is out to get you. But it's not that hard to discover some of the crimes, the court cases, the losses that Scientology has racked up. Yeah, there is. I know that everybody is, you know, guilty. I'm sorry, innocent until proven guilty. But there is something to be said that, you know, if it's 1,000 people saying something, then there might be something to it, even though it hasn't been proven, right? Now, if it's 1,000 people repeating one person's statement, right, and we know that happens, you can oftentimes see in news stories, right, or these channels that do just news headlines, they're just regurgitating a story. So it's fun to walk back from the story you're looking at to find out what the original source story was, and find out that there's only one person that's a source for it, but everybody in the world is calling it their own. You know, and I do think it's. I think you've heard me say this on my channel, and I know that some of you get bored that I keep on saying the same thing. Um, that the people who are former Scientologists and second gens, and however you want to term that, their firsthand knowledge is the education that we need so that we can sound somewhat authoritative out here on the street, right? So when a Scientologist comes out of the org and we confront them with actual LRH policy, they're like, how does that person know all this stuff, right? How does that person know what LRH said or what OT3 is? Um, and it's important for us that we have those people. It's important that we have people on the streets exposing what's going on here, right? Sharing information, educating people in the neighborhood, helping people not fall prey to what goes on in this organization. It's important that we have people watching, right? The watching is the confirmation that what we're doing has value, right? And that people do care about this. Now, it's. I hope that everybody understands that watching is incredibly powerful to us. You know, the hours and the likes; those are all good things. They show interaction, they show engagement, but also sharing it, right? Don't forget to share this out. Who else would learn from this, right? I don't know everybody in Chicago, but if you know somebody in Chicago and want to share out that, hey, did you know that there's a cult in your neighborhood? So this building is not a church.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's not a church. Thank you. I agree. It's not a church. Thank you. Scientology is not a church. You look really nice today. Oh, thank you.
I'll bet she looks nice every day, right? Yes. So child abuse, elder abuse, human trafficking, absolutely.
Yeah, I seen them like run away.
Yeah, it's yeah. Can you tell Danny Masterson?
That's another one.
Yep. Yeah. Do you know? Yeah. So his story in jail, he assaulted members of this church. When they came forward, they were kicked out. They protected Danny Masterson. Danny Masterson's in jail for 30 years to life. He's actually in jail for life with a chance of parole after 30 years. He's still a member in good standing. That's how screwed up this organization is. Money. It's always money, and what they do is I'll tell you that I feel most of the people inside here are victims. They don't understand they're being brainwashed, right? And then you've got these very well-to-do people who think Scientology helped them. Now, they probably would have gotten where they were. Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart Simpson, she's a Scientologist. Something like $300 million in donations to this point in time. Grant Cardone, Scientologist. There's several lawyers here. There's a company here called Dream Exchange. Joe Cicala is the founder of that. His son is the executive director here. They donate money here. They employ people here. So that's how this comes to be, right? Anything positive to share about the church? Are you here for the human trafficking or for the child abuse? Which one's better for you?
Or maybe pay into play to hide
Yeah.
crimes.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you very much. I have an Instagram. It's for TDFC, and I post some things there. KORN, FR,
Yeah, back Grammy, I think I'll have more time to be able to start paying attention to those as well and to attend in person. And remember, I saw when she came out, he didn't come out of the church. He got out of the car and met her. So that's how I knew that the two of those were both involved in what's going on here.
Church, right?
So that's the fun thing that I love is every day I come down here, they'll have their books out. Now today, she's not here anymore, but one of the other people out here, as soon as we come out here and stick a camera there, they pull all the shades down because they don't want people to see that it's empty inside. And the other one is that some of these people in here, their family members don't know they're here, so they can't get caught on camera, right? So, but yeah, I always want to bring that down because I don't ever want to look welcoming. I want it to always look like they're closed, right? You guys have a great day. We've got corn.
All right, so that's my one message. All right, mind if I switch places?
Oh, absolutely. And again, I mentioned earlier, but didn't get the end to punch it. Thank you, Granny G. It always means a lot, right? So Dream Exchange is they call themselves a stock exchange, a minority-run stock exchange. And a lot of the things that normally, if you look at a stock exchange, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, those are publicly traded companies. This company does both publicly traded companies as well as private companies. So many companies, even though they're a corporation, they might not be listed on an exchange yet. And it's just a tight-knit group of people that are investing in it, and that's, you'll hear, angel investors or friends and family investors or venture capitalists that are going to invest. That's really what Dream Exchange is. So Dream Exchange is this exchange that allows, and by the way, if you ever really want to know, Fat Graham has got a better explanation of this, but I'm giving you a layman's terms here. And what they're really doing is, helping trade stocks of companies that aren't, well, both public companies, but also private companies. And the transaction fees on stuff like that, it's one of those things where, like eBay. eBay doesn't make money from selling stuff. They make money from all the transaction fees on everybody else that wants to sell stuff. So it's incredibly high margin when you're doing that kind of work. So it sheds an awful lot of cash if you can make that happen. And the cash that they shed, they invest in this organization. Now, there's possibilities that what they're doing is not above board, that they're doing these things illegally. So do you know who they are? All right. Thank you. Just students coming by again. So when I talk about Dream Exchange, they're a minority-owned element. Now, Joe Cicala would probably not qualify as a minority, but his partner is definitely a minority, and that's kind of how they get in on that. It's very sketchy whether or not they're ready to start selling or not, but they actually have been taking in money. Many of their employees are also staff members of this organization. And what that means is that, right, so the staff, if you're on staff on that 2 to 5 year, 2.5 or 5 year contract, you're not getting even paid the $50, right? You're only getting paid, it's like profit sharing. And by the way, this place is not profitable. We do everything we can to make sure that they cannot sell books or sell courses, right? We try to educate the public as much as possible there. But if you're a staff member and you've got a day job that gives you your $30,000 to $50,000 salary, right? Then you can come here and you can donate your time to Scientology in that space. Lily, I'm not gonna. I can't tell you whether it was or wasn't. I wasn't there. I will tell you it's a tactic that they would use, but quite honestly, it's a sales tactic that almost anybody would use, right? So if you're trying to do guerrilla marketing, that seems like a really good idea in that space, right? As I've mentioned before, if you look at last week, Scientology went into the Dearborn station and they put flyers on the table, and the flyers said Human Rights Org, right? So they were having a meeting on human rights. Now, Scientology knows nothing about human rights. Scientology is the antithesis of human rights, and their anti-human rights mechanisms are: we want no more psychiatrists, no more psychologists, and no more psychiatric drugs. You're right. It's a clever tactic, right? And again, Scientology has learned how to survive. They're not unintelligent, I will say at the highest levels, they know very well how to sway or convince their people to do precisely what they need to have done. I can't tell. Was this the guy that left earlier with the notebook fella? So the guy that's in front of the pizza place, he might be one of those two people that left here earlier. By the way, so Pinche is talking about she had to put a VPN on her phone, right? Virtual private network. If you can find an affordable one, if there's something you like there, right, do some research. But it's a good piece of insurance to have. The idea that if you're if you've got a VPN on, then people can't play man in the middle. They can't intercept your messages.
So,
They don't report crimes, and instead they can go through something called auditing that they pay for, and then it's kind of clear, and then they don't have to report it because they're told that they bring things in on themselves.
they don't report crimes.
No.
What kind of crimes?
Any crimes, like Danny Masterson is what kind of crimes.
This is awesome. You guys are awesome.
So much
Thank you.
stuff to tell us.
Yes, of course. You guys are great. When they were open.
We did
They are open.
since March 3rd. We've been out here. We came out for the opening. I met a lot of my friends that we were going to take before. People were asking about it's not the church that's just trying to take people's money. They're predatory. They're coming to get people on the street with their tests. And so just trying to warn the public. And then people can make their own decision. But they should know the truth. So they can make their own decision.
You're right about that.
Instead of being scammed on the street. So,
Right about
all right.
that.
Have a great day.
They always want to sell you something.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's always about
Another great interaction. So somebody stopped, and again, so that's one of the things is the chalk makes people stop. We've seen in that short section, there were two people, right? The college students came by, they looked at it, and then they said thank you very much for what you're doing, and then the person that Corn was just talking to, right? The chalk caught their attention and caused them to stop and ask a question, right? So again, demonstrations work.
The stewardess also. That
Yeah.
walked by.
Oh, nice, nice.
She said, "Thank you so much. I yell at them all the time."
Oh, I love it. I love it. Because stolen valor, it's her uniform they steal, right?
Well, that's why I wasn't sure. But I told
Oftentimes at first, like, oh, is that one? It's like,
her-
no, I could
exactly.
tell
I
pretty
did the
early.
same thing.
But
I was
yeah.
like, oh, no, she's walking straight. Not one.
But no, we just gotten so much positivity from like everybody that's walked by already today. Just a little bit of time we've been here. And
Yeah, Christy, I think that's a true statement. If I went to a Judeo-Christian organization, they will give me a Bible. If I go to a Muslim organization, they will give me a Quran. They're more than happy to disclose anything they have. Now, I am not telling you that these religions are without any issues, but they tend to be far more transparent than Scientology is. You've got the other high controls, the Jehovah's Witness, the Church of Mormon, right? Especially if you're talking about the sects of Mormonism, which believe in polygamy or still have polygamy in their space. That is great news. I will tell you that about 3 minutes ago, I saw his notification come across my phone. So, folks, for those of you that don't know, Trashy V12 BMW, he was the first Chicago protester. So he was out here on a skateboard late at night. He would be up at the Lakeview organization. and he was then followed by Shannon, and then Korn and I came on the same day, so we would have been 3 and 4. He also would come down here, and I love. He can connect with people so well. I'd be more than happy to see him come back and join in the rally against Scientology. Yeah, FLDS. Jeff, boy, I can't remember what his name was. Was it Jeff Coates? No, I can't remember who that was. But if you even think about it, when Mormonism was closer to mainstream, or didn't, they started on the East Coast, and then they got to Illinois, and in Illinois, they were kind of shunned because he was still committing crimes there, and there was still the, I guess, darn it, they have a name for it. The shows on the wives that are in there, but the controlled wives.
Tell me about Chester Bennington.
Yep. Yeah. Warren Jeff sounds right. Yeah, I think that is right. But they kept on getting pushed further and further west, right? Because they were anti-norm, and I know norm is a very, very charged word, right? That who are we to say what normal is or what normal isn't? But society does make those statements quite a bit, and the idea of what is acceptable and what is not acceptable happens to be a societal measure. Norman, stay tuned. No. But now, one of the things that is interesting about Flag versus here, Flag is not a recruiting. And by the way, this is one of those times where I need the former Scientologist to help us out. If you want to look at some of the other victims of the organization, here's some of the people that have been affected by them. All right. Darn it, what was I? Oh, that in at Flag, that's not really a recruiting center like LA is, right? So Flag is a training space. That the idea of Sea Org is getting trained there, but it's also a Class 12 organization. So when you're taking the confidential levels, you have to go to one of the Class 12 organizations. And here in the States, I believe the only 2 Class 12s are Hollywood and Clearwater. There is probably one in Canada because Canada has its own, administrative area. Denmark would be where you're at in Europe, and then you've got South Africa on the African continent, right? So the reason I say that is that you're not going to be able to contact as many publics I'm sorry, it's like because of what I do, right? I tend to try to stop recruiting. Recruiting isn't a function that typically happens in Clearwater, so I'm not as strong there. Now, public education, that I think is powerful, right? There definitely should be that, and I'm sure that plenty of people don't know that in Clearwater. Like, why is every building in this downtown area owned by Scientology, and why does this area look so desolate? Yeah, that's a good point, right? That there are ways that they can pull people in, but it's not their bread and butter. If they got zero recruiting in Clearwater, it doesn't really affect that staff's or that organization's stats, right? Whereas when they sell 2 books at an event, a festival event where they probably paid $1,000 plus for a table, yeah, uh, that's an impact on them. Their stats went down that day. Yeah, right. So CLO, okay, great. Continental Liaison Office. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that might be what it is. I don't know. How about foot traffic then? Bridge, do they get a lot of foot traffic there, or do they body route there that you've seen? And just to remind everybody, Bridge has been up here. She's been up um, demonstrating here at the Chicago org. That is not where she traditionally can be at. And see, sometimes it's dangerous when I sound authoritative. I hear you, Fuzzy. I hear you. As I said, stay tuned. You may find me near Florida orgs sometime soon. Cool. That's helpful. Thank you, Bridge. Fuzzy, whose side are you on? I thought we weren't picking sides on this channel. I guess as long as everybody's not on Windy's side, we're fine. Oh, we're about to see our second one go in. So there's 2 people going in. We just saw 2 people go into Scientology. Scientology is a scam.
I'd say, wouldn't you?
Yes, yes.
Two Publix was funny.
I just saw that. Yeah.
Have you seen them before?
No. I always saw the back. Because I saw it from the back. I didn't really know who. I don't know who it was. Yeah, Christy, snarky me is going to say you're absolutely correct, but that's only because it kind of blows my own horn. But I will say it is one of the tools, right? And I think it's an important tool. It's the reason I do it is because I think it's a useful tool. We're seeing more of Korn's artwork. So we're seeing Lincoln Park. Chester Bennington advocated for mental health. Emily Armstrong is a Scientologist who believes psychiatrists are the devil. So, right? The thought is that Scientology thinks that psychiatrists and psychologists are the devil. Again, this is Corn Freak. You're on Corn Freak's channel, right? You're on your channel right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Right now we're called Organic Corn Dip
Okay.
because we're working together.
All right.
But this is my favorite chalk art ever.
Nice.
It's my
I do like it.
Okay.
Ripped from today's headlines. So apparently, they've changed the name of the Corn Channel to be a conglomeration of the several names who help out over there. As we look up, all right, sorry. So this window, it still has shades up, but this main area, which you can see in here pretty easily from across the street, that one's got its shades down. And I'm telling you, this you'd be astounded by how many people have stopped and looked at this. So when you see these colors, great. It looks distractional, maybe, but it's something that draws attention and it stops people and it helps them ask the question, "What are you doing out here?" Right? If I'm out here with just a camera, I'm not as impactful as this, right? So I do have to get. Maybe I need to start bringing my chalk again. And now that it seems like the city has stopped complaining about or coming back here for chalk, I'll start doing that as well. So maybe we'll start the top of the shows with chalk, and then go help challenge the body routing. Hey, Elron. I really appreciate it when we've got more than one person out here. We do have police coming. They are stopped here. Wow, just as I said it. So we are going to have a little visit. I don't have it either. I do. He is the same officer, but I don't have it either. Yeah, it looks like we do have the police. Oh, no, I don't recognize this one. Can you make sure you got your body cameras on? Hello? Body cameras on? Yep. They called us. Yes, they did. Just that they got called. I will say that I don't think they're going to do anything. Like,
No,
just so you know, we got body codes.
Yeah, they have to go in and talk
Yeah.
to them. It's
So.
been a while since I've been here talking, so I guess maybe it could be somebody new. It could be with
Right.
all the new faces we've seen.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Yeah. So maybe they just don't realize that Chicago don't play like that.
And every once in a while, they'll talk them into the stupid saying, like, well, it says mark here, and that's marking. Nope.
Yeah. And I'm trying to keep it clean. Like I didn't
Yeah.
write pedophile, I wrote predator. So,
Right.
you know.
We did just before it opened up. So I would say we started in.
I mean, that wouldn't have been there since the 70s.
Correct. Yep.
Well, I was born in 70, so I would say no. I wouldn't have
Nah.
seen it back then.
And
I would
no
say
one
no.
actually shows up here, so.
Right.
You guys are great.
Thank you.
You
Thank
are
you.
the crazier than the Scientology. That's
Well,
what everybody in the neighborhood.
I understand that, but we're okay with the human trafficking and the child abuse that goes on inside?
I don't give a fuck what
You
they
don't
do.
care about human trafficking.
I don't give a shit.
You
about
don't
anything.
care about child trafficking and child abuse.
All they do, as far as I'm concerned, is avoid the tax system, which I don't like.
Yep.
Okay, so we're trying to alert
Do you want to see this person who is no longer alive because of them? This person who has a child
You?
Yeah.
that we don't
Read
agree
my
with.
message.
We don't
You
agree
have
with.
child trafficking shit.
No,
Yes.
There's lots of messages.
No, but yeah.
I mean, I'm not drunk though either.
Howdy. Can I just get the name and badge number?
Officer Marquez, batch number 10639.
Marquez 10639. Officer Torres
495.
17495. Thank you. Nothing rises to the level of any kind of crimes.
I mean, it's the truth. Up on me, like you guys were inside, and he was kind of like, where did he go?
He just went into first draft.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's drinking. We're not doing anything to bother people. I don't really support the approach like that. I hope he doesn't come back. He had a problem with me, and I didn't. I never met him.
Correct. We've always given everybody the right of path. They will stop and talk to us. Even when somebody, like, if you stopped over there and talked to us, we'd tell you to come off the sidewalk.
And I told him, like, you guys are when you arrive to the door, as long as you're not physically obstructing
Right.
access to the business or physically obstructing the
Pathway, yep. Agreed. They'll keep calling. Thank you. I appreciate your time. No problem. All right. So they are going to hang around for a while. He said you're doing nothing wrong, right? You can't physically obstruct. We've never physically obstructed. We. Yep.
Are you videotaping that guy?
I did.
I thought he was going to flick his cigarette on me. I thought I was going to get la pooped.
I did like he said
that.
that.
Cigarette flipped on you, and now he called me getting la pooped.
Yes.
I thought he was going to la poop me. Well, I made sure I walked over beside him so I could videotape it. Yeah, we're telling them.
I just always love it when somebody says that human trafficking is okay and that child abuse is okay.
You look really nice. Thank you. You're welcome. I love you.
Yes. Still my favorite. And I don't know, I'm going to say I heard it from DOA, but I'm sure it's been said before. Here we're going to see a guy with the medal from today's race. And just look at, it looks like the Tom Cruise medal, right? So how heavy is that metal? How heavy is that metal? How heavy is that metal? Oh, that's ridiculous. You just ran, you gave all your energy out and just fall over. Nice. So he's got the Chicago Marathon. So you ran the Chicago Half Marathon, Lifetime Half Marathon. Yep. Great job. Ladies are cheering him on for his award. Now I will say that the cops did the right thing, right? So if we're grading the cops, they did the right thing today. Apparently, this guy thinks drunk driving is okay as well. So our guy that just our guy that just came over and confronted you, he's getting in his car right now and driving away.
That drunk guy?
Yeah, the drunk guy is going to drive away now. Yeah. You know, I always wonder that, and Fat Grammy's kind of been pushing me, encouraging me to say, let's go do an educational mechanism here, right? Let's go do some training. We'll offer free training at the roll call, right, or at the police academy. Yep, Christy's absolutely correct, right? When they get the call, they have to come out. Now, I do think that they're going right back in and they're just educating them, saying they're not doing anything wrong, right? And Scientology will tell them. They have lied so many times, and you saw me catch them on so many lies at the Lit Fest, but what they'll tell them is we're obstructing. Now, they have cameras everywhere, and if they ever caught us obstructing, yet, Nance, I'm not sure why that's not happening right now, Nance. There's nothing on our side that's stopping at symbols from showing up. I don't even know if you can stop at symbols from showing up. What was I saying? Oh, that with the cameras they have there, if we had done something wrong, they would have shown the police in a heartbeat and would have shown the police, see, here they are obstructing the sidewalk. Here they are standing in front of the door, right? Here they are doing this. They would have already gotten the police to have interacted or, arrested. I'm just going to go to the back door real quick. Yes. So, Lily, if you look up, and I think that I think Fuzzy already put it out there, but her name is Corn Freak, DBSC, Dazed but Still Confused. And then I will say the other names there were Never in Nana, Dip Me in Glitter, Heligear, or Helgear. Oh, yeah, you can't show somebody else's channel in here, and you can't show another URL in here. But if you do @NanceDrew, @NanceDrew will see that you highlighted a message. Like, so if you're trying to tag somebody you're communicating with in the channel, that's where the @ symbol will always work. If you're trying to promote another channel or something, and by the way, I hope you understand, I promote channels pretty liberally, right? That my goal is to get the entire universe larger. I don't want to be the biggest channel in Chicago. And by the way, I'm the 12th biggest channel in Chicago. So I hope you understand. I'm not in any way trying to be arrogant, but my goal is not to get the biggest piece of the pie. My goal is to make the pie bigger, right? Yeah, this the truck is Paisans, and it's caused me enough trouble. I don't want to walk through the water, so I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go back up front. All right, I'm heading back up front. Yeah. Let me know if the cops have any issues, and I'll definitely try to speed up. But anyway, welcome in No Face, welcome in Nance Drew. Hey Haggis, I don't think I said hi to you yet. Fat Grammy, always good to see you. Lori Marie, thank you so much. But thanks for being a member, and just thank you for the nice message, right? The idea that, again, it is so helpful to us to understand that we're being seen and heard, right? And we are exposing what Scientology is doing. And I will tell you that there are people in this neighborhood that don't like that we're out here doing this, and that's fine. And usually when I talk to them, you don't have to go too far into, oh, are you okay with human trafficking? Are you okay with child abuse? Most rational people, no problem, right? We absolutely didn't see that from the person who was confronting Korn earlier. Yeah, I agree. Me and Taz, I would love that. Yep, that's exactly what it is. No face. And all good. All good. Looks like there might be a conversation going on down there. Our officer's still down there. You can see the squad car across the street.
They called complaining we were filming them.
Oh, good.
Corey's talking to them.
Okay. Oh, and here we have the Scientologist with his daughter.
Being respectful.
Easier.
There are. It's probably your perfume. And you're allergic. Do you have an EpiPen? No. Sometimes I
We gotta stay here all day till this shindig ends.
Yeah. Be careful. The guy under the tree is the guy that always brings his daughter in.
Okay.
But so I would say lift your camera when they walk this direction,
Oh, okay.
just to not have a kid on.
Okay. I will.
But
I will.
yep. Oh, did you see the pink? Oh, sorry, the one in pink.
Okay. I will. I'll notice.
So
right
he's
away.
Scientology. She's the daughter that he always brings in.
Oh, reddish pink. Well, the dog needs.
Howdy, Scientology up north. Great to see you.
Hi, Scientology up north. I just love what you and Hub Cult are doing.
Helly Gear says
They're
hi.
Very effective.
Yep.
just show me that there's a life outside of this.
You gotta spy on us.
Yes. Thank you. You'll need her to undo it.
Oh crap! You're gonna have to undo it.
How do I do that?
I don't know.
If you did a ban.
And crackhead Kenny, crap! I crackhead. I savage you too. Crap!
Oh my gosh! How do I? Will he be back on my website?
Yeah, between channels, you might have to go to a certain. You'll see that he shows up in the banned list. Now, if he gets just got timed out, then he'll be back no time at all.
Yeah.
You savaged some people.
Yeah, I savaged some people. Crap! I'm sorry, everybody.
Well, so the whole time I'm like thinking, you don't want to talk too much. I've always heard that,
Yeah.
but if I'm just stating my
Correct. Do less about what you're doing. Always say less about what you're doing.
That's what I couldn't
Yeah.
decide. I don't have as much,
Yeah.
Anna calls me my mom for a reason. Like, her mom out there.
So, Bridge, I don't know if you heard, but this call was, they called for filming. So their complaint was that we were filming them, right? That's what they called for filming? Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
which is odd because they're filming us right now.
Correct.
And also because of the things we're saying to people on the street. They don't like that we're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not illegal.
Correct.
You can't arrest me for telling the truth. So,
Yes.
unfortunately.
The truth is always a good defense.
No, I mean, I'm writing things. Yeah. Like, somebody didn't understand the Lincoln Park message, so I let them know about that.
Anything positive to share about your church?
And it did.
Yep. Folks, just a reminder, right, in order to recoup some of the costs, again, right, I do print materials for here. We've got the cameras. I do run the most conservative ads possible. Like every 30 minutes, you might get an ad show up on here, but I think they should be all skippable. And just a reminder that, right, the cards that I'm able to hand out are asking, hey, what Scientology doesn't want you to know, and xenu.net. And then on the other one is a scan code that's going to take you to a bunch of blogs about some of the crimes and abuses and offenses that Scientology commits. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to get rid of those, but I am going to ask about are they allowed to film us up here? So if you look up there, right, you've got a camera that's like dead on me right now. And we've got the corollary camera down here. No, sorry. Yeah, the answer to that is no. It's really that, and actually, I wouldn't watch the channels for two reasons. One, if you don't want to, if it's a commercial you don't care about, then don't watch the commercial. But it can also be a red flag that if you do just watch all the commercials, it shows up as a red flag. We get paid for the views.
I haven't, but Indiana's not known for that.
Howdy.
Not that I've had.
They know not to even look at me when I walk by.
Very nice. Love it. Love it. So she just said that the Scientologists know not even to look at her when she comes by. We know X's and that, and
Yeah.
just so you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know anyone personally. I just wondered, like,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, we've gotten to know them, and it's hard to speak out whenever you've been a victim from here. So it's easier for those of us to come be a voice and help spread that. But yeah, just compassion.
Like, nope, not joining the call today.
Nice. I love it.
You're using your own mind. You don't need to be told what your personality
I
is.
did one day during the Clears Row.
Yep.
They were out there and somebody was doing it. I'm like, don't join the call today.
Thank you. Thank you. We need people like that. Yes, thank you.
They called the police on me 7 times that day because I kept on telling everybody they were Scientologists. They were mad that I was calling them Scientologists. It's Dianetics. He doesn't like the book Dianetics. But you're Scientologists. Why do you get mad when I call you Scientologists?
They don't want the connection because they want to sell the book. But, you know, a lot of us, we all met on March 3rd when they did the opening, most of us, and we just formed some friendships. And so we make fun.
Yep.
We have some fun while we're here, too. We always make sure to find something to eat that we like. So, yeah. Try to
I walk by all the time. And I'm right around the corner.
Oh, yeah. We try not to I love your shirts. Oh, I love that. You see so many dogs and
Got a dog doing the right thing here. Now, I will tell you that you can get in trouble if you call the police too many times for frivolous elements. Now, if there was a reason that he had to call, that's absolutely fine. But if it's, I don't like my neighbor, I just want to warn everybody, in almost every jurisdiction, if you continuously call the police, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. They'll usually give you 1,000 warnings beforehand. And be careful. You never know which cop's going to show up, right? So at Litfest, the vast majority of the cops said, hey, he's doing what he's allowed to do. Shut up and go away from us. And then we did have the one female officer who decided she wanted to, she had empathy for the cult and wanted to press things further, right? So you never know which cop's going to show up. And again, they don't have the same understanding of the law. They don't have the same understanding of the cult. They don't have the same understanding of things in general. So it is always something that you have to worry about in those situations, that you may take a ride even though you're right. Hopefully you've all seen that my goal is never really to get arrested. I don't have that desire. Don't want to spend any time in jail. But I don't want the police to be able to walk all over me. We're going full Kenny?
oh, going Kenny, that's right. I'm going to make sure I got the right battery pack. I've got some.
They're not interchangeable?
Some of them are,
Okay.
but not Kenny's. Because I've had him for a few years.
Right.
And I think they must have made them different. So. There he is. All right, guys, Kenny's on the way.
We're about to see our friend Kenny. Again, I'll go ahead and walk backwards over it. So we've got Corn's work down here.
Something about us being out here school teachers that gets under your skin. What is that? You should have it like
TikToker or YouTuber named Never Nana is questioning why would there be lights and sirens for what was the call for?
Filming. But you're right. Why lights and sirens?
Why is filming a crime?
No.
And why is there like trucking isn't either? Right.
Right.
What is the crime?
Yeah.
They just like playing with their lights and sirens?
Yes, they do. One of the things that I've noticed I've been doing a lot more lately is they'll go out the alley and they'll go towards, they'll go left and then go on the other side of the train station. So I'm seeing Olga do that more often now, and several others. So, well, then they go over into the city, and then it's basically to come around so that I can't see them. Because if I see them, they think that I'll get on their trail, right?
They know what you're going to do.
I miss the days when they would walk out, see me, and walk back in.
Here comes Kitty.
Careful, you got to step. Okay, you're good. We don't need to know who killed Kenny.
Not right now.
You're looking weak, Kenny. You're looking weak.
Daddy might need a new battery.
Can you hear it or no? Let me see if I can even hear it.
It's on, but it's not.
Oh, then it just takes a while
There we
to.
go.
Yeah, it just takes a while to get up there. You'll be fine.
Baby,
I'm getting there.
Yep.
you're a little weak, okay? A little weak.
Let's just call it like it is. You're a little limp. Lauren, I know you don't mind.
Wait, Limp Bizkit or LinkedIn? Which is it?
There we go. Step it
What's so
over
weird?
the truck.
Yeah, they're inside.
Oh,
All right, folks. I'm gonna go up to the alley, and I might go to Dearborn too. I don't think there's anybody out right now. Right, it's 2:35. They close at 6 for the. When I say public, for the people that they're trying to hand out the flyers to, so the body routing targets, they pretty much have to come in by 6. Now, Scientology is never going to turn you away. It's just that the sign says we're here from 2 to 6. The people who are publics, so when I say public in that context, it's they are a Scientologist. They pay to take courses. They can come after 6. Usually they'll be here as late as 10 o'clock, even on the weekends. And it's because they're taking course or they're doing purification rundown in that time frame. So they've scheduled with their auditor to be here at that point in time. Yeah, Lori Marie, absolutely. That's really what the sign was referencing, right? Is the idea that Chester and his father were incredibly strong advocates of mental health and seeking out help for mental health problems, while the new member is a Scientologist, and just by definition, she is anti-mental health unless you're using Dianetics to solve the problem. Dianetics or Scientology tech to solve that problem. Oh. I'll go see if that woman's okay. Sorry, somebody just fell. I want to see if I can get over there and help. I need the traffic light to switch. You all right?
Did you see what happened?
I'll say no to be nice, but are you all right? Okay. No, I didn't know how it happened. I was like, wait.
I was trying to go, but then I tried to brake here, and
Ah.
my wheels kept slipping, and I couldn't, like, I was either going to
Nice.
fall into the street, or I was going to crash into this.
Okay.
And I took the liberty of, like, just crashing into this, but if I go into the street while cars are coming.
Yes, it does sound like a worse element. All right. But I'm glad you're okay. So she was heading down the sidewalk on her scooter. Zigged when she should have zagged. We might see the police come out by the time I get back there, but I just want to see if they've tried to sneak anybody out here. I have not seen, and again, I was here near lunchtime, and right with 15 minutes to go on lunch. So I should have seen body routers returning from lunch anyhow. I did not see any of the people who are historically body routers here. Again, they might start turning people over faster. They might have had something in another town. What I was saying before, right? That a staff member is not obliged to this organization; they're obliged to Scientology. So if Scientology thinks they need somebody someplace else, they can move that staff member someplace else. So one of the things that we know they're trying to do is they're trying to raise money for Battle Creek these days. And it's very possible that they're trying to divert some of the talent here or the staff here out to Battle Creek to help in those situations. Or it could be any other. There's 1,000 different kooky things that Scientology can be diverting their talent for. And sorry, I have my HR hat on at that point in time. They're cultic members. Remember, this is our Saturday farmers market. Now, I think this is our last month coming up, so we should see maybe 3 or 4 more of these markets. It is an opportunity for Scientology to be out here and to be proselytizing or sending out brochures. Just for fun, since I'm down here, we're near the Dearborn Station. About, what was it, last weekend? Boy, folks, with work life, family life, and demonstration life, things run together pretty quick. Yeah, Christy, we have not seen Chadwick since about a week before the first court date. We haven't seen. Remember my thin friend with the curly, dark skin, curly hair. Haven't seen him for 2, maybe 3 months at this point. We haven't seen the dark-haired female European, the one who stepped into me with her camera or her phone. Sorry. So yeah, people do get moved away from here, and again, sometimes they quit. Great, that the best case scenario. I no longer want to be part of Scientology. Number 2, maybe they have to move back home to be with family, but that's usually not a modus operandi for Scientology. I'm going to turn the video off for just a minute. And I'm walking through here. I just want to see if there are flyers down here. Oops, sorry. There are none in here, so. This is where I saw the flyers for human rights last week. There was nothing in there. There were a lot of people in there, and they happened to be with children. Just another reason why I really don't want to have a camera on them. Not sure what was going on there. Looked like they were almost playing bingo or a trivia type game going on in there. Just looking down Dearborn, that's Dearborn Park. Not seeing anything in there. Yeah, this I saw you would. I can't remember what show we were watching, and somebody said, "Hey, look out for this," because this is true. If you go to look at meetups, or if you go to look at some of those social event calendar type things where you can put in a free calendar event to ask people to show up. You will oftentimes see either Scientology overtly, just saying, we are Scientology, and other times you'll see them doing things like Way to Happiness, Youth for Human Rights, CCHR, so Citizens Commission on Human Rights, Narcanon, Drug-Free World. You're going to see those invitations, and they're going to look innocuous. It's like, oh, cool, yeah, I can get behind, I'm okay with the drug-free world. And then all of a sudden you get there and realize that you're being courted by Scientology.
That's one funny cool part. I think that
Good night, lady. Have a great night. There's a younger Asian that came late to that, and she's a newcomer to body routing here in Chicago. A younger female Asian lady, which we saw her, the very first time we saw her, I had shut down my channel for that day, or shut down my stream for that day. And as I was walking home, I saw her, and then I quickly brought back up. We went, I think we showed vertical, and she walked down Dearborn north, or the opposite direction. By the way, the police are still here. She walked down Dearborn, and tried to hand off a flyer, and I was able to intercept that flyer. So this, not sure, are the Bears playing? Okay, so the Bears are playing right. Well, the Bears are ahead right now. Who is team 2? Is it Chargers? It looks like there is another student near them. Listening to the Bears game again.
I can sit down and put my foot
Too
up.
hot or not enough fan?
We want to go walk after some,
Okay.
but not enough fan. Do you have a power tool to open up my screwdriver, or to open up the screw
No,
in
I
the
saw that
box?
before, and I know that I don't have anything that I think helps with that.
That's okay. I have other inflatables. Kenny just took some Ozempic.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, you want the blue pill, don't you?
Huh?
You need the blue pill.
Oh! I do. I need the blue pill now. Yeah, so we just thought we'll go over to the.
Yeah, I do want to ask this and say, like, are you going over a bunch of film, right?
We're still wanting to leave Juanita so we can go where we were before we came here. We know where we go.
I was going to say, you can check that guy at Subway might have a tool for your.
Oh, that's okay. We'll wait till we're gonna walk away from here. Yeah. Oh, well, then I guess I could go down.
Sorry, there are plans going on right now. Anything positive to share about your cult?
Yeah.
Howdy, Professor Khan. Where did she go? Oh, I think she went in the pizza place. She vanished very quickly. Oh, sorry. I can still see the. I'm looking down the street, and I can still see the police or the squad car lights going. Howdy.
8406.
8406, 8400. I'm interested by what.
8406. He was saying that's the number on that cop car. I wonder why the biker was saying that.
Oh. Okay.
Anybody got the timing on how long they've been in there talking to them about the same thing we had before, over and over again?
Twilight, I think that Fuzzy did, but we can definitely put it up again. And I think the best that I recall is that Fuzzy has some information on. I'm sorry, Fat Grammy has some information on how to get involved with the community meetings, whether they're online or otherwise. But yes. Right now, I really kind of want to engage the officers when they come back out. Hello again. Howdy. I went to Myrtle Beach when I was a wee lad. The thing that I remember the most about it is my grandfather took us there, and we went to like the penny arcades on the boardwalk there. Howdy. It's a very dangerous one. You know who Scientology is? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So they just opens up in March 3rd. Nope, they were up in Lakeview before. If you ever want to look at some of the more of the crimes, so that's more of the information. So those people are all victims of. Some of them are no longer with us.
Wasn't his wife missing?
Yep.
Did they find her?
They do find her, and most likely she's happy just living out her life, just in solitude in regards to what's going on. But it was, let's see, there was contact. Who knows how that story's going. Right. So mind washing or brainwashing is just a huge part of what their job is. So,
Right. So what are you doing?
I'm just protesting them. What'll happen is they're going to come out here and they try to recruit people from around town with the most innocuous things. Like they say they're for human rights. Well, their belief in human rights is they're anti-psychiatry and anti-psychology. No psychiatric drugs. That's what they believe human rights is.
Oh.
They have a museum out in Los Angeles called the Museum of Death, which is an ode to psychiatry. So that's their thought. I know people. So on that card, you're going to see people that were abused as children on this. People who had mental problems and mental breaks. Like one of those stories is Ellie Perkins. Her son had a mental breakdown. Instead of getting him the help he needed, they said, well, we can fix it with their Dianetics book. He later took the life of his mother.
Woo.
So those are things that human trafficking and child abuse are very big things here. And it's not that hard for me to be against those.
Okay. So are you filming?
Just so I do, because we're live streaming. So there are plenty of people that they don't like for us to know who the people in here are. so their family members oftentimes watch these streams, and because there are people in our community who've been told their family members are dead, and then 20 years later they'll pop up somewhere. So that's one of the things. So every day, yeah, when I show up, every day when I show up, those blinds are usually up and they're trying to sell their book. As soon as I come here, they'll shut it. And why do I stay here? I just want to close their retail presence. I don't want this to look inviting to anybody.
It really looks very scary.
So
Okay. So you just here by yourself, or you have a team?
there's other people, and we're all individuals in regards to what's going on here. But
All right. Well, I'll look on the. But
thank
I've
you so
heard
much.
bad things
Yes.
about it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
You have a great day.
You too.
Howdy, Carrie. Good to see you. So just, interested young lady. And again, she stopped because of the chalk. So this woman stopped here because of the chalk. She then, allowed me to ask her some questions, and we were able to share some information about Scientology. Thank you, Twyla. I will definitely do that. Because I do want to be in person at that. Norman, that is, okay, I'm starting to hear that more often, and yes, I will make a trip down that direction to see if I can help there. Now, one of the things that I'll say is I would love for us to grow people who are concerned about it in that area, because one of my greatest fears, and although today we had five people out here today, one of my greatest fears is that if I'm not here, who is here? And I don't mean that to sound as it is, but it's important to me, right, that we continually try to stop this organization from growing. Yeah, so these cops have no issue with, today they had no issue with the chalk. And I'm sure they're getting news on it. Yes. Very dangerous organization. So there was a couple that was looking at the chalk, but they wanted to walk around through the street. Howdy. Again, whenever we have the college students coming by, I try to lift it up. Thank you, guys. I will say that it has been fully legal for us to chalk the entire time. Certain officers and sergeants have taken it upon themselves to expand the law and interpret it in ways which are not reasonable. We are not being challenged by that anymore.
Yeah, we told them that you guys
Right.
are doing. I understand the same thing I told you. As long as you're
Cool.
blocking or anything like that.
I'm always intrigued why it takes so long to convey that information.
For us to.
Yeah. It seemed like it seemed like a while. And again, I know you have to be nice or not nice.
So
Engage.
we have to do like investigation.
Yep.
And we have to listen to what they, obviously they're watching the cameras. And, they're approaching people. They're within the right to approach people and put out the message that that they're trying to accomplish. As long as we're not blocking this and constitutional rights.
Absolutely correct.
They're not, invading people's spaces or like depending on the person. If you go up to
That's true.
that
That's
person
such a fact.
aggressively, they might feel a certain way.
Yep. Do you want to? Let me give you some other information on that real quick. So, this is more information about some of the criminals and victims that they've got in their organizations. So
That'd be great.
All right, folks, let me check here. You probably have ambient mic. Sorry about that. Let me see here. Settings, general, yeah, audio, iPhone microphone. All right, folks, sorry about that. I don't know if you saw, but right when the cops came out, some students came over, and I will have caught it all on body camera, but my phone battery died. So, darn it, drat, on that. So the phone battery died, but we had a really good conversation with them. A couple of things they said there. One second, I'm going to ask Kelly for a favor. Can you put this in? Hopefully, there's a pocket right there.
Oh, I've been waiting for Windy to ask me to go into the pockets.
Kelly's being a dirty bird. So, there were 4 students that came up and had a conversation with me. I think you're just hearing me on the iPhone. Now the iPhone's plugged in, so that'll charge up fairly quickly. Um, the students talked about they get mail from Scientology in there. They know that people are getting paid to go in there when they do this. I gave them a list of all of the other organizations to like the front groups. So CCHR, YHR, Way to Happiness, Narcanon, Criminon, all of those. The police said that, hey, we just had to go in there and listen to their whole story. So that was the rationale for that. Let me tell that story to the group over here as well. Yeah. So the police did come out finally. It was just that, hey, we've got to listen to their whole story and everything. They told them that what we're doing out here is absolutely fine. Go pound sand, basically.
Why so many police officers?
No idea. I don't know why the second one came.
There was 3, wasn't there?
Well, there was 2 in the one car.
Okay.
Oh, you've got to be kidding.
He's back.
Here we come. Here's another officer. I just want to see what this guy's got a problem with. Oh, thank you, Nance. Right? Yeah, Applied Scholastics. So we're kind of just going to keep our eye on the officer over here. We did see, again, the 4 students, each of them took a business card. I had 2 in my hand at the time, so I handed 2 of them out. The other 2 asked for the cards. So that's always encouraging, right, when people are looking for more information. So I like that that's out there. Definitely want to get an idea as to what this guy thinks he's doing. So I'm going to turn the camera into high, the long range or telephoto. One thing that we'll find out here, so if you can't see, the car is 8404. One thing you'll find out that it's very hard for me to keep the camera steady when I've got it this tight in. Now, what'll happen is that Scientology has, one of the reasons they bring these people inside is that, hey, can I get your personal number, right? Can I get your cell phone number? So that in the future, they can make the phone call without having to call 911, right? Because you may or may not have heard, but we're able to hear the broadcast call on like the Citizen app, things like that. Thank you, Christy. That's very helpful. One of the reasons that they want that cell phone number is that if they don't get satisfaction from the first officer, they'll go down the phone tree, right? And they'll say, well, we want to see if Larry will come. Larry is always nicer to us, so we'll bring Larry in, and then we'll bring Lisa in, and then we'll bring Jenny in, and then we'll bring Jerry in. Right? So they'll keep on going down the line until they get the satisfaction that they believe they deserve from this process. Margaret, I'm going to give you credit for wanting to, so I like it. One second, I'm checking on my body cam real quick. Oh, that's going to be very disappointing. I am going to be super disappointed if I miss those kids' engagement on the camera. So if you remember, in the month of March, when the cops were out here every day, um, I made a FOIA request for all of the calls to this location. I just wanted to get a listing of all the calls made to this location. Um, so I think that we're going to start putting those kinds of communications together again on um, asking for the FOIA request to say how many times were you guys called out here, just so that again we can help offer to the ward alderman, which I know he's been useless as breasticles on a bull. That, but I still want it to be known on the public record that Scientology has a consistent attitude of wasting time in Chicago. Absolutely correct, Chrissy. Right, and that's another one of the points that could be made in there. Right. I'm going to walk across the street, and folks, I'm going to go up to the corner and back. Um, I want to get his partner's face on camera as well.
So do they have flashing lights also?
I don't know, but I can't see the partner's face, so I don't want to cross the street to get a jaywalking. I'm gonna go up and over and kind of put the camera on him. Folks, I'm gonna move the camera back down to wide angle. Actually, Chicago is not a stickler about jaywalking, but I will tell you that I don't know if these people are pro-Scientology, if these two cops are pro-Scientology, and right, that why would I give them the ability? Now, if I was going over to engage them, but I don't want to engage, I have no desire to engage them. Howdy, Mike. Saw you guys were out there yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was Friday. Can't remember if it was traveling day or not. Yeah, and I want to encourage all of you the same thing, right? The idea that I know there are people out there that like to antagonize the police, um, and that's fine. That's their purview. They get to do what they want to. Um, I just don't. I would say that it would be retaliatory and it would get thrown out. But why do I want to go to court on their terms, not on my terms? Right? If I do get their badge numbers, I wonder if I can match it up to other calls, or if they were out on these calls, or see what the wasted time is in this situation. Thanks, your name and badge number?
Officer Qureshi 10402.
Qureshi 10403. I'm sorry. 10402.
10402.
Hammond 17222. Thank you. So really, it's just a matter of record, right? See what we got there. See if we start seeing names show up. Um, it's always fun to see if these officers get in trouble before or not. Um, I will tell you that I probably could have asked, "What the hell are you doing here?" Um, don't really care. Um, Thank you, Fuzzy. So yeah, and we saw earlier, right? Fat Grammy said basically what 2,700. And I wonder if that's, sorry, let me go back to that post. Yeah, I wonder if that 2,700 depends on whether or not it was one officer or two officers, right? Um, because again, we've got a squad car here. I know it's an SUV, but I'm gonna still call it a squad car, a patrol vehicle out here. Most of the cars here in Chicago are SUVs as well these days. But there's two people in there, right? Um, They looked to both be blue shirt, so right, it would be the whatever the lower ranking salary. Now, I'm pretty sure that in Chicago, it's your rank and then time in service, or there's a seniority number on that as well. The 2,700 is just as good as any other on this base. And by the way, that 2,700 would be if they were actually on a call. I'm confident that these people aren't on a call. And if anybody has the Citizen app, um, you would have to put your geolocate. If it's to make it free, you have to put it in your. You have to geolocate it or make your location look like you're in the district that the call's being made. But the Citizen app here has the Chicago numbers, and I don't have it with me right now. Um, I know which channels to listen to for which districts. We are District 1, and I think District 1 is like Channel 12 for some reason. You might be able to find that if there was a call made there. I really don't like this light. It takes so long. Folks, what I think I don't know if the ladies are going to go grab a meal or something. No idea if the ladies are going to go grab a meal or not. But what I want to do is I'm going to walk around the block if the ladies do leave, just to see how long they stay here, or if they go inside, or if they do anything to the chalk that's out here. Christy, thanks so much. It was with Christy. The first officer's name was Ques, so something like that. But it did sound like Qureshi, but with a Q. Oh, look at this! Look at this!
Hey!
Juanita made
I
it.
couldn't mask her. Remember the
Oh.
moment I asked you the old guy?
We have Juanita up.
But I needed to put it like the call white
Oh, the
and
best.
I got those, but I didn't have time. Honestly.
Yeah, that's okay. Another time.
What,
Yeah.
what did they say?
I just asked for a name and badge number.
Oh, okay.
Are they just gonna babysit?
I think they're just gonna, which is fine. I don't care. Are you guys like gonna go find Neil or something soon? Okay.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna right away because Juanita just got here.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
yeah. But I mean,
Whatever
Okay.
you guys.
eventually.
Yeah.
Because what I was gonna do is if we did vacate the area, I was gonna walk around the block to see if they were gonna stay there or come in.
I thought about walking to the 7-Eleven to refill my cup. So
Yeah,
But
Ellie
we
wants to
just have
stay.
presents. We do have presents here, so.
Now the thing is that I was thinking, do you think they're trying to get rid of us before they come out from their event gathering, or
I
get rid
can't.
of us so
What
they
was
can
the
get rid
event
of the
today?
talk?
I don't know what the event was.
I don't
today.
know, but there's so many people.
Yeah. Remember the one you?
That's right.
It's better
She's
than
got the tiny screwdriver.
So,
Awesome. Let me find my batteries.
Hey, Cubs. Great to see you.
So we don't, yeah.
Cubs, I'm still trying to make it to Wrigley and get you a Cubs bear. We were going to try today, but our time just got a little off, which happens to us.
Yeah, I think
But you,
Sundays have one.
hey,
how can they get somebody to babysit?
Yeah.
Beyond my,
At $2,700 a call, right?
Well, I mean, the lights and sirens is bad enough.
Yes.
But now to have somebody sit there, we should just go off standby to the police car.
Yeah. Do we put a call into Commander Harris and say, why is that there?
What's your channel?
Oh, I saw you earlier.
Yeah. How you doing? That to give you more information. So that website will tell you a lot of the abuses and crimes that they're still involved in, and the channel names on that one as well. It's nice. You bring your own security team. That's awesome.
Bye.
Take care.
You see how I went up to them?
Yeah. I will say, yes. I like the idea that look, they're putting the camera in everybody's face. They're
Yeah.
never.
That you were going up to people, the police, that we were going up to people. I said, they say that all the time.
Yep.
And then I said, for instance, if you notice,
So now our cops are heading. So we saw the paddy wagon go, and then the squad car go.
I guess that's more important.
What I loved is he just wanted to see. It felt like a 16-year-old with his muscle car. He tried to squeal the tires as he was moving out. Yep.
yes. At least they left for a real.
Yes. Well, it could be somebody else talking and videotaping.
Yes. Right. Cool.
You never know.
Well, they might send another babysitter.
Yes, they might. All right. I have to.
Back to being normal again for a while.
Yeah. I have to head out and go get some food. So it was
Okay.
good seeing you again.
It's good to see you.
I will go say goodnight. And you guys have a great day. Be safe.
Alright, so hold batteries if you don't mind. I'm just gonna for
No,
now.
go ahead. I need to get you that phone rechargeable one, so you don't have to be buying all the time.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
I used to have some, but I think I lost them.
That's a good idea. Okay.
All right. I'm taking
Juanita
off.
had a little screwdriver.
I'm taking off.
Okay.
Juanita, great to see you.
Same here.
Thank you for being here.
Yes. I'm sure that
We'll stay for a little while.
if there's any issue, Fuzzy can get a hold of me.
Yeah, and hopefully since they've already been here and checked us out,
Yeah.
it'll be okay. Oh my goodness! Oh, hi! Oh, I just got a haircut too.
All right, folks. I'm gonna walk away a little bit. Yes, I am. I have to go get food.
Guys, stranger danger. What the?
Folks, we have a free Xenu project coming along.
Holy crap! Where you been? Looking behind you.
It's a long flight to Farsec.
How you doing?
I barely recognize you. Jeez.
I have terrible news. I have to go get food. I've been here for a couple hours. But you have friends. Yeah. Tonight, I don't know. I might. We'll see. I got to take care of animal stuff too. So.
It was good to see you.
Yep.
WindyCity.
Howdy. I think that Fuzzy's going to send some folks over your way.
Oh,
I'm here.
cool.
All right, folks. Head over to Fuzzy. I'm sorry, to Free Xenu. And I'm going to take off. We'll walk with me for a little bit. What did you think today? What went well? What are some things that I can do better? I'll share the information that I have with the cops, with Joe Cool, and audit them. Again, there was nothing that was eventful, I would say, in that process, other than the idea that we did find out that the moment I say that they don't call the cops anymore, look who shows up. We definitely know that they lie on those calls, right? So when Scientology is making the call, they're going to tell their acceptable truths. And just a reminder, an acceptable truth is a lie, right? At no point do we put our cameras in people's faces. If you are walking in public, you have no expectation of privacy. We have some Scientologists in the alley here. They went and grabbed their coffee, so they'll be out here grabbing their smoke. Yeah, I didn't think they were going to let me come down there. But you definitely saw, right, that the guy that was in the chain link fence, he was from Pat's Pizza. He was just doing garbage duty. But you saw two people coming up the alley with their coffee cups, and then one person already standing here. There might be a smoker still in the doorway there, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure they all went in, which is modus operandi for Scientology. We'll walk past the dumpster as well, and then hopefully you're all heading over to Free Xenu Project. I really appreciate that he comes from out of town. He comes from out of state to come and demonstrate. So yep, got nothing here, but let's see. We will just show you just some of the fun cigarettes that are down here. Right. This might be a 311 call. Hey, why is there so much litter in the alley? And as we come up here, we've got the dumpsters. They do have a lock on the dumpster. So here's the Scientology dumpster with the lock on it. Speaking of trashy B12 BMW, he was on there before. Yeah, I don't know what the fire code violation would be there because that door does open from the inside. All right. They don't need a key or anything to open it from the inside. And I guess if you put out a lit cigarette on the sidewalk, then yeah, you've left a spark out there. But at the time I see it, right, all of those are dead ashes. So All right, folks, I am going to send you over to Freezinu Project, and you've got Corn Freak, and Juanita is here. Definitely go share some love with them. I really appreciate the time we spent here today. Please feel free to email me, feel free to talk to me. Um, More than happy to communicate. Yep. Yes. If you go about halfway down, so this tree right here, you go about halfway down, you'll see the big blue parking, the blue P sign for parking. That will get, you want to go into the garage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So about, take a right-hand turn here, and about halfway down, you'll see next to Urban Pantry, there's an elevator with the parking garage.
Thank you so much.
Yep. They were looking to get into the garage. All right, folks, I am going to shut down. Thank you so much for being here today. Get in touch if you want to stay in touch. Thanks. Bye-bye.